Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket.
Okay, welcome back to Warcraft Stories. I didn't think I was going to do any more of these, but due to popular demand and the fact that Burning Crusader is out and everybody's been talking about it, and a lot of people have been asking me why I quit playing the game. I unsubscribed. For those of you that missed it somehow in my last stories or whatever, I got bored of playing my 60 Paladin, and there wasn't a whole lot left to do in the game. I mean, we went all the way through Blackwing Lair, and we didn't really do the AQ40 that much, and then Naxxramas came out. I didn't really want to get into that. I was just tired of it, because the whole point of the game is to get items so that you can be stronger, so that you can kill bigger monsters to get better items, so that you can kill more monsters to get better items, to kill more monsters to get more items. It's just an endless cycle of pointlessness, you know? So I kind of got bored with it, but I did like the game, and I'm going to show you today some of the things I did when I was really bored. Like, I found some places on the map that most people probably have never even seen before, and I found these pictures on my hard drive. I didn't even remember having these, but I had a bunch of target files that I never really fooled with from screenshots. Now, there's secret places that some people know about, like if you're a horde and you're at the crossroads, if you go west up the mountain, there's a little shrine to this guy that died. I think he might have been a developer of the game or somebody's son or something. It's like a Tomb of the Unknown Warrior, and it's got somebody's initials on it. A lot of people know about this. And there used to be, before this, the AQ40 gate quest, you know, where you had to open the gate. You used to be able to go over to this island. It's part of the quest now, to kill this guy that flies on a helicopter. And there's all these level 62 elite, like, Hydras and Nagas over there. You used to be able to go down in the sewers and you could find the King of Stormwind, you know, the one that's missing. Not the little kid, but Anduin Wrynn, I think's his name, the actual King of Stormwind. But I think he's gone now. You can't really find him anymore. If you go to Theramore and you ride northwest, like northeast, you get to that Murloc camp along the beach there, and then just swim north, there's an island. And that's where all this stuff's at. So everybody knows about those pretty much. And I'm going to show you some stuff. If I can look at these screenshots. Okay, this first place, it's not really that big of a secret, but a lot of people don't know about it. And it's rumored to be a PvP battleground that hasn't been instituted yet. It's in Azshara, and Azshara is a pretty weird place. I'll show you some more weird stuff about Azshara in a second, but this is the Forlorn Ridge. It's a big mountain where the road forks when you first come into Azshara. And there's a cave in the top of it that you can't get to. There's no way to get to this cave. And it looks like there's a road going up it. Now, I found this while I was looking for secrets of the Ashbringer sword that I was telling you about earlier, and I was looking for places that have little lakes on top of mountains, because you know the Ashbringer sword had this thing with Nat Pagal and you had to fish for it, so I thought it would be in some kind of hard to reach place that you had to fish. And Azshara does have a really high level of fishing. Here is a bird's eye view of the place, and as you can see at the top here in the center, there's a lake in the middle of this mountain. And I've marked on the map here the Horde entrance and the Alliance entrance. These are battleground entrances that, well, I assume they'll be battleground entrances. That's what they look like. They look like the normal, like, Warsong Gulch entrances. There's flags in the middle of the road. Here's the Alliance one. That's what it looks like. And this is the Horde entrance. So it looks just like a normal battleground, but I don't know where it would take place, if it's inside the mountain or it's going to be around this little lake, which is kind of small. I haven't really figured that out yet, but here's a picture where I tried to climb up the hill to get to this lake. There's no way to get there that I found. So I tried wall walking, you know, on my mount and stuff. This is as high as I was able to get. So didn't really find anything up there, except somebody said that it was probably going to be one of those battlegrounds eventually. And here is another, like a bird's eye view of Azshara. Now this one I found when I was trying to do some fishing below the southern tip of Azshara. I've marked on the map here where it says rest of crew. Okay, there's a quest here called the Horizon Scout, and there's some people that are like shipwrecked people that have been left there. So the boat's called the Horizon Scout, and you have a quest where you have to defend the little island from some Nagas that attack them, and the quest doesn't really go anywhere. It just kind of gives you some gold, I think, and experience, and that's it. So then if you venture south, you will find this little second mate Chandril standing on a rock. And I've marked on the map there's some seagulls flying around in circles over top of the ocean, and there's some wreckage. And I've tried fishing for this wreckage. I've not really got anything much out of it. Maybe some like chests of crap that you could sell, nothing really good. And this is the wreckage of the boat. Now you can see it's all bubbling, and this is a close-up of the wreckage. Yeah, I was standing on these planks that float, and I was fishing on this big pile of stuff. Either way, I needed to get my deep diving helmet, so I went back to the bank, and I got my deep diving helmet out, because I'm an engineer, and it lets you breathe underwater for pretty much infinite amount of time. Came back to this wreckage and I swam down below, and lo and behold, I found the craziest thing. This is a gnome named Roland Gear Dabbler, and you got the Horizon Scout first mate, the cook, and an engineer. They're all standing in this boat. I went down to the wreckage of the ship, and they're just standing there, and they're able to breathe without anything on. I don't understand how they're still alive. The gnome has some kind of shield around him. Looks like a divine shield from a paladin. Of course, gnomes can't be paladins, so that can't be what it is. Plus, it would have ran out after 12 seconds or whatever, 10 seconds. So I don't know what the hell this shield is and how they're all down there breathing and alive. I think I eventually emailed one of the Blizzard people about it, and they gave me the standard message that says they can't divulge hints about the game. So yeah, if you go east of it, there's a broken rudder. This is what the back of the ship must have hit this rock and broken off, and the ship crashed down in there. They really go to a lot of detail to make it realistic. And if your fishing level's high enough and you want to make some money pretty easily, kind of easily, you can go to Azshara. You know, we used to have to go to this Hydraxian Waterlord to get your Aqua Quintessence to put out the Fire Lord runes in Molten Core. Man, I really sound like a geek. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just ignore me, but you used to have to go to this guy on his little island. You have to swim all the way there every time you went to Molten Core, like once a week or something. You have to go out and get your bottle of water. There would be these little floating, icy looking things in the water, and you could fish those, and you would get like essence of water every now and then. So that's a pretty easy way to get some essence if you want to sell it on the bank. And also, if you swim east, you can find some level 62 elite sharks swimming around the border of the water there. Oh, I also tried to swim to the big maelstrom in the middle of the map between Kalimdor and Azeroth. Like, I got some swim speed potion, and you know Paladin has that 10-second divine shield anyway, so I swam as far out as I could without taking fatigue damage. I took the speed potion, I just swam out as far as I could, popped my divine shield, and I got really far out. Here's a picture of the map of where I got. I also tried swimming from Theramore to go try and get there, but there's no way to get there, and I thought there would have to be a way to get there because in Thoughtbot, where you look up items and stuff, you can look by places of where stuff drops, and there used to be a place called Maelstrom on Thoughtbot, so I figured somebody had to have been there at some point in time. So like I said, I found all this stuff while I was looking for the Ashbringer sword and finding weird places to fish. So you've probably been wondering what that map was earlier of Azshara. If you've never seen this before, it's really awesome. It's called mapwow.com. Basically what it is, it's a Google map somebody's made of the entire WoW universe. Like up here, this is the Teldrassil tree. Here you have Winter Spring. Here's Highjaw. If you ever want to see what Highjaw looks like, you can zoom in. Gives you a really detailed map of stuff. And I guess somebody had to walk around every single place in the world and have their little map icon, combine all these tiny little pictures. But what I did, I got to studying this map because I was bored, like I said. And if you go around the edges of the ocean, like right down in here, right here is a spot that I found where there's stuff. I had to swim all the way from like right here, all around this coast, to there. This is right south of AQ40, I guess. So it would be right underneath the giant eyeball. Then over here, south of Tenaris, there's two little islands. And somebody has got to these, I think. If you take your swim speed potion and do your divine shield thing like I was talking about, there's probably a way to get down there. If you zoom in really close, there's a little dot right there. It looks like it could be a treasure chest or something, or some kind of box. Not really sure what the purpose of these islands is, but over here on the other side of the world, if you take the Thandal span north of the wetlands to, if you jump off the bridge right here and you swim east, right here, there's a little farmhouse with some, it's like a plow in a field. Nothing really major. And up here, if you jump off here at Scarlet Monastery and you swim east along this little coast, there's a little tower right here. It's like a night elf tower. Here's a little Taran boat, like an Indian canoe. And then if you look to your right, here's a little like horde base. So there's a windmill at the top here. North of Eastern Plate, picture of the windmill. The place here is south of Silithus, where picture of that little area there. It's pretty much like anything you would see in the Crossroads or Barrens area, but the grass is all green. Here's inside the hut, nothing really major, it's just like a normal Taran hut. And here's a little tent that was outside with some trays or something next to it. And here's a cave. Now this is really cool because there's a big cave here. It looks like an instance cave, sort of, but there's nothing in it. It's totally empty. Like, here's a shot of the cave inside. Here's another shot with some stalagmites, like a big empty place in the bottom and some bones. There's just really nothing in here. I don't understand why it's here. There's like, and you can see it on the map how big this cave is. There's just nothing there. I don't know what it's for. But what's really interesting is right here. This is the end of the world as we can see it on the map. This is Eastern Plaguelands, and here's Stratholme and Skullman's down here, you know. But all this up here is empty map. There's nothing been placed here yet. But if you go to the top of the map, right here, see this little spot of yellow? It says Northrend on your map when you try to get past this. There's a guy with a log, like a bunch of logs blocking the road, and a night elf standing there. So when they open up Kelthalis and Northrend and Icecrown, whatever they add onto the world, I guess they're going to make more land, because according to the map, there should be like a lot more land out here in this ocean. Now I'll show you a screenshot. Here's a screenshot of me standing there looking at the ocean, although the map says there's more land. So like I said, I found all this stuff while I was looking for the Ashbringer sword and finding weird places to fish. And I ran across this in Feralis. This is another one of those places with a lake on top of it. It's called the Twin Colossals. It's right towards the northwestern part of, next to the road. There's two giant mountains. It's like needles, sort of, you know. There are two of them. One of them, you talk to this elf guy and he teleports you to the top of it, and you can buy a parachute and parachute off of it like a skydiving thing. The other one I don't think you can get on top of. But I teleported to the top of this one, and the quest they give you says, the Twin Colossals above us remain as a constant, though, throughout all that has happened here. So something important must have happened there. I don't know what. I'm still playing Warcraft 3, and I've not got to, if there is a place where it tells what happened in Feralis, I don't know, but apparently something happened here. So I was looking around in this lake, and at the bottom of the lake there's these blue bottles, and there's axes, like there's been a war taking place there. Now the blue bottles, I thought it had something to do with Nat Pagel, because he was always drinking when he was fishing, and he says that that's what he found in his book. It says something about him being drunk or something. There's a skeleton over here next to this one, and an axe. And even next to this elf there's a blue bottle. It's like a bunch of whiskey or something in these blue bottles. I don't know what the deal is, but it's probably nothing, but just kind of suspicious. Because the Ashbringer sword, if you follow the story of it, you're supposed to talk to the prince in Dire Maul, like kill Nefarian and take his head to the prince. Well, these two big mountains are right above where the western part of Dire Maul would be, where the prince is at under the library. So I thought it might have something to do with the prince and Dire Maul. I don't know. The only thing else I know of that's kind of secret, I couldn't really figure out what this is this is in Hillsbred. If you go just south of the dwarf place with the elite dwarves that you have to kill, it's not Dunmoder. It's one of those Dun places, like a dwarven name. There's a little monument here, and there's a guy named Roush next to it. And if you click on the statue, it says Anthony Ray Stark, 1961-2005, and loving memory. I don't know if he has something to do with the game, or if he's like a character or something, but the only thing I can figure out is Tony Stark is the name of Iron Man from Marvel Comics. I don't know what that would have to do with anything. Or who Roush is. He's a dwarf, though. So that's really all the secret places I know of, I believe.